And if I need any extra help, see if I need some help. See if I need some help. Ugh. All right, today I'm going to be talking about hypoglycemia. Now, this is pretty straightforward. We don't have to go crazy in depth to understand this. So I'll just explain it real quick, and I'll share with you an experience that I had with it actually today. That clip at the beginning of this video was a portion of a voicemail that I left for my wife when I was experiencing the worst hypoglycemic event I've ever had in my entire life. So we'll define it, and then I'll just give you guys a little bit of story time there. So simply put, hypoglycemia, that is when you are experiencing a severe low blood sugar. Now, when you start to have low blood sugar, you're going to experience a lot of different symptoms, namely sweatiness, dizziness, confusion, loss of coordination. What's going on is that without enough sugar in the blood, your body is losing its source of fuel to do any cellular bodily function. And so, just like a car, if you run out of gas, that car is not going to run anymore. Same with your body. If your blood sugar actually went all the way down to zero, you would literally die. You wouldn't have energy for your heart to beat. You wouldn't have energy for your lungs to breathe, and there would be nothing happening at all. So the technical definition of low blood sugar, technically, once you hit 70 milligrams per deciliter, that is, once you're under 70 milligrams per deciliter, that would be considered a low blood sugar. That number itself, that mark, I don't think it's too dangerous. It is good to have it there, so once you're approaching that, it might be a good time to treat. The reason why I say it's not so dangerous if you're right at 70 is just because a normal, healthy, non-diabetic person, when they wake up in the morning, their blood sugar will probably be between 70 to 75. So that's just like a normal fasting blood sugar. But if you're a diabetic and you've just eaten a meal and you took insulin and you're watching your trend line of your glucose trend down to 70, most likely it's going to continue to trend down, and it's probably a good time to go ahead and treat it right now. Another number is 55 milligrams per deciliter. This is going to be the mark where if you get there, you're probably going to start being symptomatic. You're going to get the lightheadedness, confusion, dizziness, all those fun things where you realize, hey, I'm starting to get really low and I need to sit down, take a sec, eat some food to recuperate. So what happened with me this morning is every morning I like to get up and I'll do lift for a couple hours. Did that this morning, felt great, had a great session. And there are a lot of times after I lift, I'll go ahead and just go on a run immediately after. And I've never had problems with my blood sugar going low between those activities. But what changed this morning is I lifted, went upstairs, and took a shot of my long-acting insulin. Now, I didn't think that would be a problem because, it's long-acting. It's not really supposed to start working for a couple hours and then stays in my system for 24 hours. But what I'm assuming is just because I had just lifted, my body was so insulin sensitive that it took up that long-acting insulin immediately and it started having an effect on me. Didn't realize it till it was too late. I didn't go on a run, but what I did do is just take my dog on a walk. About halfway through, the walk's maybe 3/4 of a mile, so halfway through that, I was starting to feel it pretty good. Get dizzy, lightheaded, and I realized I needed something. I didn't bring any sugar with me, unfortunately, so I just thought I'd be totally fine. And so I just realized I need to pace myself and get home as quick as I can. It was a beautiful walk though. We saw a rainbow, which was cool. So as I'm walking, I'm literally stumbling every step. Like I'm falling. There was a construction guy on the way. They're doing some work in the neighborhood. He was staring at me. I think he thought I might've been drunk or something. But I couldn't walk in a straight line, stumbling all over the place. And as I'm rounding the corner to get back to the house, I actually fell into the fence, like just collapsed into it. It was immediate. Like it wasn't something like I controlled it. Literally my legs just completely gave out. I took a step, both my legs just bent, and I collapsed into this fence. Once I collapsed in the fence, it became clear to me I might not be able to go any further at all. I need to do something. So I got my phone out, called my wife, and left this voicemail for her. Hey, can you give me a call? See how I feel and see how I feel. And if I need any extra help, see if I need some help. See if I need some help. Uh, See if I need any help to feel better and feel my best. Give me a call to see if I can feel my best. Thanks. Love you. Bye. Bye. Pretty incoherent. You know, I kept repeating myself. I was just trying to say, don't feel good. I need some help. Luckily, I was able to make it home. And I was so out of it, I forgot I even made that call. It wasn't until I got home, my wife, she called out to me. She said, Daniel, you okay? I said, yeah, I'm fine. Why? She's like, what was that voicemail? I was like, what are you talking about? She's like, that voicemail you sent me. I was like, oh yeah, I called. I, I don't know. I have a poor memory of what happened because I was just losing cognitive and physical function of my body. So immediately when I got home, I still had enough brain power to know I needed to eat some sugar. Probably slammed between 20 to 30 grams of fast-acting carbohydrates. We have some nerd clusters in the pantry that I used. And I did take my blood sugar about 10 minutes after getting that down. And after getting the sugar in my system 10 minutes later, I was still only at 37 milligrams per deciliter. So I was super, super low. I wouldn't be surprised if in that moment of collapse, I was somewhere in the 20s. It was pretty scary, very dangerous. Totally fine now. Was able to get the food in me that I needed to. But hypoglycemia is a very serious thing. You really need to watch out for it. Know how to treat it correctly too, because as important as it is to not experience hypoglycemia, there is the danger of over-treating lows and just going high and then treating highs and going lows. Every diabetic has ridden the roller coaster. We all, no matter how good we think we are at dosing, it happens to all of us, every once in a while. So that's hypoglycemia. I'm the athletic diabetic. I post videos about diabetes. I was diagnosed a couple years ago and it changed my life. And now really I'm just on a mission to help diabetics understand the disease better and live their healthiest, best lives. So if you enjoyed this, like, follow, comment, subscribe, and I'll be posting more videos. See you on the next one.